So hey, it's another vlog. I know that you were expecting this about 6 months from now. Well, Christmas came early, and by that I mean there is no gift receipt, and you probably didn't want it to begin with. But it's happening, so deal with it. I mean, I can be your like human Christmas sweater. I'm okay with that, or like socks. Actually, socks are kind of a nice gift for Christmas. Maybe I'm old. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't been doing too much except school, but I don't want to talk about necessarily school the entire time. So I was thinking that we talk about some of the stuff that I have done. I did go to see Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and it was amazing. I don't know if I'd mentioned, but I went to go see Doctor Strange. It was also equally, no, it was more amazing. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, my Marvel heart filled with joy and then exploded. I also have to say that Benedict Cumberbatch and Eddie Redmayne, thank you, whoever decided to make this Christmas globally warm. Like, I certainly felt the heat. I mean, it's cold outside, but my nether regions are ablazing. Thank you for this, gift from this. I think it was basically the fact that during the summer we had Jared Leto as the Joker, and that vagina dryer was just basically like, okay, we need to somehow counteract that because women are never going to want to have sex again. So let's pop some, Benedict Cumberbatch into a cape. Let's get on with this. As you can probably tell, I'm still single. But Facebook is a poppin'. I don't know whether it's like nobody could figure out what else to get someone, so they just decided, well, here's a ring, and they were like, shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to actually marry you. But it's one of those things where I've noticed there are a lot of weddings going on, and I noticed there are a lot of just marriages in general. Maybe I'm like hyper aware of them, but I've noticed that there are just engagement photo after engagement photo after engagement photo popping up, and all of them are very similar in style. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is why I'm single, because I've never found someone that I want to lay in a field with. Like, what is up with that? Why are people just like laying in the middle of roads or like laying in the middle of fields for no reason? Like, cars could be coming. Like, what are you doing? They're probably laying in the fields, and that's how the children of the corn happen. You gotta use protection in the fields. But anyway, it's one of those things where I've never really understood engagement photos. They don't seem to reflect the couples too much. They seem to just reflect the idea of, look at us, we had a nice camera, and time to drive somewhere. Also, it's just one of those things where weddings tend to make people really crazy. Like, they become really strict about everything, where it's like, everything has to be a specific way. This is my day. I'm like, technically, every day is your day. I mean, you are your own person. Like, it's one of those things, you wake up. But I guess it's more the fact it's kind of like your birthday. You get, like, a super strictness that comes with it that you don't necessarily have any other type of day. Like, you kind of become a warden. Like a wedding warden. Like, you can essentially just do a prison experiment if you want. Like, it's your day. Whatever you're down for. So it's one of those things where I think that women become kind of obsessed with it. And they just become, I don't know, even. It's one of those things, they basically become like that scene from Ghostbusters where it's like, there is no Dana, only wedding. And it's one of those things I've never understood. Like, I would honestly just like to have a small affair where I'm dressed as Captain America and my best friend's Iron Man. That's it. I mean, that's simple, right? That's not weird. But I also have noticed recently that, like, I have a series of terrible things that I love. Like, I truly am one of those people that likes things that they should not like, where that is just has shitty taste. Well, not shitty taste. Okay, maybe shitty taste. Like, I mean, I love horror movies. I love Sharknado. Like, I like a plethora of things that are not the best. That probably have low IMDb ratings, let's just say that. And I realize that I hope that I never do anything that puts me into prison, because I would not get any bunks. Like, I would just be asked to sleep out in the yard. Like, it wouldn't be like, oh, well, you get the bottom bunk because you're not as tough as me. It would just be like, as soon as they hear that I like, I don't know, Hamilton, they'll just be like, oh no, you're sleeping in the yard. Just get out of here. I also realize that I tend to have a problem with coffee. Like, I'm trying to cut back on coffee, which is both great for me and terrible for my existence simultaneously. I love coffee, and it's kind of like I cut off an arm, and now I'm just having like that phantom limb syndrome where I feel like sometimes I have coffee in me, but I don't. Like, I really miss coffee terribly. And I think I might just introduce it slowly back into my life. You know, like one of those drug addicts that just goes back to it. I miss it. And it's one of those things. I did end up having a coffee this week, and I was standing at the coffee shop area. The cafe, if you will, as they're sometimes called. And then it's one of those things, I'm looking at the board, and this lady comes over and she's like, oh, hey, what's a mocha? And I'm just like, oh, it's this. And she just kind of goes, oh, okay, what's this mean? And then what's this mean? And I became like a human Google. I was like, why are you asking me all these questions? And then I realized I have that look. I have that look of someone who frequents coffee shops. So either A, I look like a hipster, or B, I look like a woman with a problem. And I'm thinking it's the latter. I'm genuinely thinking it's the latter. Because I actually have a thing called Coffee Thursdays with my friends, where we meet up and we have coffee, and it's the best thing that's ever happened in my life. It's amazing. But it's one of those things where if you have a set day that starts with coffee, you probably have a problem. I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with it. I can deal with it. Like, I can learn to live with my addiction. And if not, then I'll end up on an episode of Intervention. That's 15 seconds of fame right there. Probably the closest I'll ever get to a television series on A&E, so it's all good. So, speaking of Coffee Thursdays, I was hanging out with my friends, and at one point we were joking around about dating each other, because, you know, that's not weird at all. And at one point, one of my friends is lean and went like this, and of course, you would think, a normal human would think, oh, I will lean and put my shoulder underneath her arm, and then it'll look like she's leaning on me, and we'll look cool. We'll look like we might be in West Side Story. Who knows? But instead, what I did, because I'm not a functioning human being, was stick my arm out, and we just touched elbows like some weird Power Rangers. And I don't know what happened, but I just realized, I think that's the moment I realized I was going to die alone. I was just like, I'm never going to sit in a field with someone. That's not going to happen, because nobody wants to take an engagement photo with someone bumping their elbow. It's not a fist, you know, there's not a fist bump of the elbows. It's not an elbow bump. That's not cool. Nobody wants that. That's awkward. No one wants awkward engagement photos. That's how you end up on Reddit. That's how that works. So it's Christmas season. Unnecessary segue. You can hear the jingle bells in the distance. You can hear the credit card swiping. So it's one of those things where I don't really care for Christmas much. I love giving gifts to people, but it affects my wallet in a very negative fashion. I'm not crafty enough to buy things for people, and I feel like I'm also Leslie Knope simultaneously. So I'm constantly stressed during the holiday seasons. Plus it's finals, and finals just automatically kill any Christmas cheer you might have had. Like, you could be Santa himself. Give Santa a final, and he would be like, no, no, no. That's what he would be. He would just automatically change his tune. He'd tell Rudolph to just go to the grocery store and get a case of beer, because he's not coming out. And that's how I feel. And it's one of those things where I definitely think that it kills your mood. I'm more of a Halloween girl, because you get free candy and you get to dress up as something you will never be. Can't really do that with Christmas. It's essentially, I get to see how much money I wish I had. So I guess we're still living in dreams, but it's just not quite as fulfilling. And it's one of those things, if you buy anything for yourself during the holiday season, you automatically feel guilty. You automatically feel like a shitheel for buying anything. It's like, I bought this, you know, Hershey's bar for myself. That means Timmy's not getting a gift. And then you just feel like a dick the entire time. It's definitely not a season that I'm looking forward to, so I'm going to be glad when it's over, but it has a lot of nice things. Like, I really appreciate all the stuff that my friends have gotten me, and I'm super excited to give the people that I care about gifts, because I think they'll like them. I hope they will. That would be terrible if they didn't, but I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. I'm rambling now. I'll, like, go into some sort of nihilist diatribe if we continue any longer. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a wonderful time, and I will try to make another of these videos soon. I'm also going to hopefully be releasing one of the ones that I'd filmed from July and never got up, and also some of the book clubs and things that I have that are recorded, and actually starting to, like, do content creation. I mean, I guess that's kind of what I want to do, so I should probably actually do that So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful life, and I will talk to you soon. Hearts and shit.